Don Zoldi here, CEO of P3 Tech Consulting, and I'm with Vern Sally from Axon. We're at the DroneResponders National Public Safety UAS Conference. I know it's a mouthful, but Axon is sponsoring this stream, so thank you so much, Vern and Axon. And Vern, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Vern Sally. I'm a retired Chula Vista PD captain. Did 25 years at Chula Vista and was part of the team that developed the drone as a first responder concept and managed that from 2018 to 2020 when I retired. Came over to Axon as a public safety drone consultant to assist agencies in deploying DFR and other drone programs.
And DFR, I think most of you know, is drone as first responder. This is a big trend we're seeing this year, even more so than previous years. So tell us a little bit about Axon.
Yeah, so I mean, Axon's a 30-year-old premier public safety technology company. Probably know it best for TASER, but also body cams, fleet cameras, and then drones. So really think of us as a network of connected devices to be able to give real-time situational awareness to public safety agencies and other agencies. And really, in many ways, we're considering ourselves to be the operating system of public safety in terms of technology. So really exciting things that we're doing here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Vern, I don't know if you saw, they just did a briefing and they had a video from Chula Vista Police Department where there was a vehicle fire off a highway, and what they showed was body cam 1, body cam 2, it said Axon on there. I'm like, oh, there's a commercial for Axon. But then, of course, the drone, right, from Chula Vista PD was above, drone as first responder, and they were able to get the victim out in less than 4 minutes, and right when they dragged him out of that vehicle, the vehicle exploded. So amazing, life-saving technologies and how it's all interconnected. So you guys are a big sponsor here, you have a booth here. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing this year at this event from a trend standpoint that maybe is a little different from what you've seen from previous years.
Yeah, I mean, I would really say that drone as first responder is just jumping in the space. More and more agencies are asking about it. It's actually really starting to come to fruition. We have a lot of different customers that are deployed with drone as first responder, even more in the hopper looking toward it. And I think the exciting thing is it just really continues to evolve at a rapid pace. So looking at our partners like Drone, in terms of airspace awareness, to enable drone as first responder without an RPIC in the future, along with docking stations with partners like Skydio, DJI, things like that. It's really advancing very fast, in fact, faster than we anticipated last year. And so that's the most exciting thing. Almost every conversation at our table is customers asking, how can we do DFR? How can we improve our drone program?
Yeah, you know, you said a word that I think is key that we're hearing a lot. It's autonomy. You said another word that I think is key. It's networked solutions. And as you said, you have a partner ecosystem. We're seeing people working and companies working together in unprecedented ways, including law enforcement and fire. So amazing that your and other technologies are making us all safer. So thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
So how can people find you, Vern, if they wanted to reach out to you and learn more about Axon?
Yeah, sure. My email is vsallee, S-A-L-L-E-E, at axon.com. And my phone number is 619-572-6168. Reach out to me. I'm a cop that talks to cops, right? I'm a drone consultant for Axon. I'm a cop at heart, 100% till the day I die. So I'm here to give you the right advice on your public safety program. And I believe it's Axon, and happy to bring the best to our public safety partners out there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an honor for me to meet you in person so finally. Like this guy's an icon. I mean, he's really one of the fathers of DFR, and such an honor to have you here, and thanks again for everything.
Great.
So I'm going to ask you to be careful as you walk around. We're going to get Charles Werner, Chief Werner from DroneResponders is up next. So this is the man that is making this conference happen, by the way. Incredible conference. Charles, you sold out this year. You have over 600 attendees, 60 exhibitors. We're here at Busch Gardens at the Fest House. Wow. I mean, how are you doing this? Like, tell me about how this has grown from year one.
So last year was our first year starting.
Oh my gosh, it's only been one? This is your second?
Yeah, so we took off from the event that used to be in Krauss, but then COVID ended that, and then we ran into issues of the number of people that wanted to attend. So fortunately we have public safety here at Busch Gardens that have relationships, and reached out to them and said, hey, we're looking to do a conference. And they said, well, why don't you do it here? And they've never done this before, but they have given us the Fest House to use 2 days for free. Now, we pay for the catering and that kind of stuff, but they take care of the tech. We've got a 60-foot screen for people to look at. We've got everything here. We've got trams, we've got free parking.
Yeah, you're cracking me up, because I was telling somebody it's like planes, trains, and automobiles in a way to get here, and then add trams, so like, but it's like, seriously, the festival experience, you park your car, get on the tram, come to the Fest House, and here's some great briefings, by the way. The faculty and the speakers you put together, Charles, are top-notch. Tell us a little bit about some of the topics that folks are hearing about over these 2 days.
Yeah, so we've got everything from looking at the American Drone Security Act and what does that mean. Mark Bathrick talking to us
that was
about
amazing.
What's the impact.
Yeah.
We had the keynote of Jeffrey Vincent, the Executive Director of the UAS Integration Office from the FAA, just excited to be here.
Yep.
The enthusiasm runs through this place. It's like, on top of it, it's also a reunion of sorts. We've got a third of the people that are here were here last year.
Wow.
So, and then we've got 2/3 that are all new.
Yeah.
And so actually we sold out at 500.
Oh, 500, okay,
But we went over.
Yeah,
where we have 600.
That's what I thought you told me.
And last year we went from 15 vendors to this year of being 62 vendors, and I turned 10 vendors down.
That's
because
amazing.
I wasn't sure they were going to fit. And the vendors here have all said, this is phenomenal. The return on investment of being here has been so great, because they said we're getting so much interaction.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do here. Is we don't want to have these big conferences where you've got lots of people that are just passing each other and you're trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
This is more of an intimate setting to where you're getting the content, and then you're getting the chance to interact with people that are here.
Well, let's talk about the people that are here for a second, Charles, because I was in the room when you, when your moderator said, hey, how many people are here from the federal level? And I saw a handful pop up. And then how many people stayed? And more. And then it was local, municipal. That's the majority of folks here, Charles. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think 2/3 of the people here are actually from the local government.
Yes.
And that's where it all starts.
It does. Boots on the ground. I'm preaching the choir.
Yeah, well, we're first in, we're last out.
Yeah.
So the federal partners have been great. We have, I think, a total of 16 people from the FAA that are coming to this event today or tomorrow.
And you've got NASA.
NASA's here. We've got all the major vendors right here.
Yeah.
And everybody's excited. But we had Overwatch Aero talking about the combination of satellite and imagery for forest fire detection.
Wow.
We had Don Birchoff with True Weather and the panel.
He'll be here in a minute. Yeah. He's
so
good.
We just got the best of the best here, and then everybody's just having a great time talking to each other and networking. And I'll tell you a funny story. Paige Fitzgerald from Delaware. She's my MC for today.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she said, I came last year, and she said, I met David Kovar. And he does Ursa Security, he does all this analytics of the activity in the airspace. And she said, now he's an intern working with Delaware State. And she said, I went back to my boss, and he said, are you going to bring more people like that back into Delaware? Let's go to the conference next year. So she said she's got a whole band of people from Delaware.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I have 8 people here from New Orleans.
Wow. And it's Mardi Gras, so that's big for them to come here when there's big parties going on at home.
Yeah, and we got Robert Campbell from the U.S. Capitol Police is on one of
the
panels.
Love him. I worked with him when I was in the Air Force on the DoD Domestic Imagery Working Group, so it'd be great to reconnect.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many people here. It just goes on. And again, everybody's so excited to be here. They come in and they kind of look around and they go, WTF? Because it's like they have no idea when they're walking into this.
Yeah.
That's why I use the letters.
Yeah, no, it's good.
But it's like, oh my gosh, this is phenomenal. how did you do this? And people are taking pictures and they're sending them back and they're going, where are you?
Yeah, we're here.
So,
we're
I mean,
in Busch
it's
Gardens.
open, it's colorful.
Williamsburg.
It's and again, it's the atmosphere is so collaborative, so much fun.
Yeah. So Charles, how do people reach you? Like, so Drone Responders, you can join for free. Is that correct?
That's correct.
On your website. Okay. And tell us, you have a lot of conferences coming up, a lot of events. Is your next one at AUVSI Exponential?
Yeah, we have a co-located event at AUVSI Exponential, and then we have a co-located event at Commercial UAV Expo in September.
Yep.
And that may be it. We may have something at the Energy Robotics Summit.
Oh yeah, in Houston.
But
that's always fun.
We're now looking. We're having conversations. People are saying, "Hey, could you do this in Ohio?
Wow.
Could you do this in someplace else?"
Yeah,
and what we're seeing is, what we'd like to do is to be able to do regional conferences.
Yeah.
That get into the air.
That makes sense.
Might not be as big.
Yeah.
But it's going to get to a lot of people.
I think it'd be bigger, actually. If you make it regional and fewer of them, there'll be more people that will converge,
because
probably.
we want to take it to where people are.
Yeah.
Because people are having trouble traveling, and law enforcement are having the inability to send people long distances.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But
All
look,
right.
it's fun. Drone Responders is free. We got the resource center. We've got the dashboard sharing programs, and we're now starting our new Drone Responders, Women Drone Responders.
Woohoo!
Where we're going to be reaching out to create opportunities to do videos, interviews, and create a playlist on our YouTube channel.
Speaking of women and rock star folks that are here, we've got Miriam McNabb from Drone Life coming up next. So Charles, we're going to get Miriam in, but I wanted to thank you for everything you do, not just at this event, but all year long, and for everybody. So thank you, and thank you for also sponsoring this stream.
And thank you for all that you do. I mean, we're in this together. That's what makes it work. And you got Miriam coming in. Miriam McNabb is absolutely the best. She has our public safety drone review. She'll tell you more about that.
Yep.
We just have fun working together, and that's what makes it so great.
She is awesome. Here she comes.
So,
all right, Charles.
thank
you. Looking forward to the rest of this. And here comes Miriam coming right around. So Miriam McNabb probably needs no introduction. She is the fearless leader of Drone Life and puts out amazing content, works very closely with Charles in the public safety arena. So Miriam, you're here, you're moderating a panel for this conference. Tell us a little bit about that, and then tell us about the other initiatives you have going on with Charles.
Sure. So today I get the honor of moderating a panel where, I always love telling the stories about the actual operations that are happening. I'm talking to a group of people who actually were able to do Overwatch of the Marine Marathon.
Oh, wow.
That happened. Yes, huge event. It was a massive coordination effort, waivers with the FAA, point people, multiple agencies working together. So really great stuff. I love sort of seeing how that comes together to actual boots on the ground.
Well, that's another word that comes to mind is collaboration, right? The multi-agency approach to public safety and all of these operations.
Yeah.
So you and Charles have launched some kind of a series where you're working together. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, it's really fun. It's something that we actually started talking about years ago. We kind of have finally sort of got it together, and now I think it's been about a year. So once a month, first Tuesday of every month, 3 p.m. Eastern time, we do the Drone Responders Drone Life Conference. It's just myself and Charles and my co-host Tim Martin, a very experienced police officer, head of UAS training at the Regional Training Center. And we invite guests onto the show. We just chat. We talk about current news stories related to public safety, current issues facing the community, and then usually our guest talks a little bit about whatever their specific area of expertise is. So it's just fun.
It is. It's awesome.
You talk to each other. It's fun.
Well, and so y'all need to be watching that, and not only that, but if you haven't subscribed to Drone Life, you need to. When people ask me, how do you get information, about the industry, I tell them sign up for Drone Life. One of several, but excellent content. So thank you for everything you do, Miriam. It's so great to see you guys.
Always fun to see you. And please, if you haven't come to the conference before, it's really one you don't want to miss. A lot of great people, a lot of great content.
Yeah, hopefully next year as well, right? Like that's the one question I
Absolutely.
forgot to ask Charles is like, are you doing this next year?
Oh, I
think it's going to be yes, considering it's like I'm
Backed
going to
by
do public
popular
math
demand.
like 6 times the size, backed by popular demand. Exactly right. Well, thank you,
Exactly.
Miriam.
All right.
Great
Thank
to see
you.
you.
Talk to you soon.
All right, next we have Dan O'Shea from Matrix Space coming down. So lots of companies, lots of organizations here doing their thing in the public safety space. So Dan, tell us about yourself.
All right, well, I work for a company called Matrix Space, and we build radars. And our radars are really small form factor, super
I was
compact.
like, wait a minute, is it like my screen or is that upside down?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, ignore
See,
that.
this is-
Ignore that.
yeah,
Nothing
that's-
happened.
no,
right?
it's all good.
No. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, it's about the size of a paperback book. It's about 28 watts power draw, and it's able to detect things like small planes and helicopters out to about 2.5 kilometers. So, when we talk about it from a DFR perspective, drone as first responder, basically, this can replace a human visual observer up on a rooftop to basically reduce the manpower needs to be able to, safely deconflict the airspace, right? We can also use this for things like drone detection. So for our friends here that are from prisons or need to do, or from universities and need to do large crowd management, we can do small drone detections as well. And for generalized security too, we can do ground object detection, people, vehicles, things like that.
Yeah, that is amazing. Let me hold this for a second.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a perspective.
See, now you're doing it.
No, that's my hand. Yeah, okay, I'm doing it. That's my hand. It's smaller than my hand. Like that, and this is how thin it is, honestly. So you're right. A book, I think, is a great analogy for this.
Exactly.
Smaller than a paperback book. Amazing.
Weighs about a pound.
Yeah, super lightweight. And I've got, there you go, Matrix Space. We love you guys. Matrix Space is also a sponsor of our Law Tech Connect upcoming workshop at AUVSI Exponential, doing a scholars program again, Lori DeMatteis. Love her and everything you guys are doing. So, and you guys have a booth here, is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and David Cameron was just on the stage with Don Berghoff from True Weather Solutions, talking about weather issues and how you guys are integrating. So article coming out soon on that, by the way, so stay tuned, everybody. But any last comments, or how can people reach you?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for taking the time to interview me here. But yeah, you can reach me. Check out the Matrix Space website, matrixspace.com. You can reach me directly, daniel.o'shea, O-S-H-E-A, at matrixspace.com, or find me on LinkedIn, or call me, 781-797-0511.
I love how people just give out their PII on LinkedIn, but hey, man, I'm not giving out my phone number, but you could probably find it. People have found me. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Great
Dawn.
to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks.
Looking forward to
Take
seeing
care,
more.
everyone.
And here we have Dave Krauss from Influential Drones with us today. So, a man that almost needs no introduction. He's an expert in safety in the industry. He's here wearing several hats. Dave, tell us about yourself.
Hi everyone, so my name's Dave Krauss, Influential Drones. We're here this week representing the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the FAA safety team. I have my DroneResponders shirt on, and I'm also here with my company, Influential Drones, just helping out, trying to promote aviation safety.
So, NIST standards, you're on a panel with me about training and certification. Tell us the importance of training and certification.
So in my professional opinion, there's nothing better than understanding the capabilities of those that you work with. And the way to do that is defining proficiency using standardized test methods. This is no different than us taking tests when we're in school, except it's in a universal and standardized way that works throughout the country. You can use test methods to qualify each other as well as to qualify equipment. And these are the things that the industry needs to start moving forward and really start making an impact in safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And here with the FAA, Influential Drones. By the way, I'm from Philly, and Dave did take me around Philadelphia last year, flying Boathouse Row, Art Museum. It was so amazing. But you know what he did first? He made me go behind his office and show him that I could fly that drone. And so Really awesome what you do, and amazing facility you have there near Philly. It's in Jersey, right?
It's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But we're not far from Philadelphia.
No, it's right there.
We had to take Dawn back to where she grew up.
Yes.
And we ended up finding a good restaurant right where your grandmother's house was.
Yep.
By the end of the day, she was flying above the art museum, which is in Class G airspace.
Yep, and right after the pierogies and kielbasa. It was amazing. So, Dave, as you're here at DroneResponders, and you've been here before, and you've been to their other events, what would you say is different this year, other than the crowd, right? Other than the crowd, from kind of the top trends that you're seeing in terms of public safety and drones?
Every year, it's exciting to see the users of the aircraft start embracing technology. We're getting a lot more questions, and we're also getting a lot more people asking questions about NIST and safety. And to me, that's a great thing, because when we all start working together, we're going to do some awesome things.
Absolutely. And speaking of awesome things, he's got a stage set up with the buckets. People can fly here, right? You're going to let them fly inside. So, Dave, how can people find you? How can they reach you?
So the easiest way to find me is actually to visit the Influential Drones website. We can help you out in any capacity. I'll also give out my office number. It's 856-281-7545. And we're here to help. We're here to get the industry moving forward in the right direction. Everything we're doing with NIST, everything we're doing with the FAA safety team, we're volunteering our time to help the industry move forward.
And you are doing a great job. Thank you for everything you do. So great to see you again.
It's always good to see you, Dawn.
In person, yay! All right, we're going to get the weather Dawn over here now. No event is a real event without having some conversation about weather, and here is the man to do it. So Dawn, obviously CEO of True Weather Solutions, another person that kind of needs no introduction. You moderated a panel about weather and public safety. What would you say are the biggest takeaways for the public safety crowd when it comes to weather, Don?
Well, we've all grown up using drones, having a pilot at the location of the drone. We're now transitioning to this DFR, and we're transitioning to more autonomous operation at remote locations.
Yes.
You're not going to be outside now in the weather.
Like, there's the wind, or whatever. Yeah.
Right, or here's the trees.
Yeah.
So what we're telling folks is, we knew this was coming, and we have to backfill the loss of that sensor, you, the person, with digital weather.
Yes.
And so the digital weather comes down to, relatively low-cost sensors that can be bundled with other sensors that you need for your DFR program, like, detect avoid radar, ADS-B, or whatever you're using.
We're getting photobombed.
Oh, okay.
Can you see? Look in the corner there. Anyway, go ahead.
So what we want to do is bundle these sensors, get them into a project that's a bigger project. Think of it as an ecosystem of sensors.
Yeah.
Get them bundled with another group. Have one project, one acquisition for ecosystem support for your drone-in-the-box solution.
Yeah.
And then get your weather data, which, by the way, is budget dust compared to everything else. But but the amount of data you're going to get is going to change your whole view once you're inside a dispatch center and you can't see outside. It's going to give you such, relative situational awareness.
So you made a point from the stage that I want to emphasize, and it seems obvious but incredibly important. When you're talking about response in an emergency, stress levels are high. Time is an issue, and so you made this point of saying, look, you have to have a plan in place, and it has to include weather. In those crisis situations, you can't be figuring out at the 11th hour like what you're doing, right? So tell us how True Weather aims to assist people with that.
Right. So lessons I learned are that I ran an Air Force base.
In the Air Force,
yeah, and I had security. And I was in the Middle East. I was in Central Asia, and I had to worry about threats. I was also the EOC director.
And that's the Emergency Operations Center.
I was Emergency Operations Center director. I owned the fire department. I owned the police. I had to worry about rapid response.
Yeah.
And so one of the things you don't want when you have chaos is weather to become another integral piece of your chaos. So
yeah, that would be the worst thing.
now sometimes we do it to ourselves. Sometimes weather's chaotic and it changes, and even the weather guy can't stay ahead of it.
Yeah.
But probably 80% of the time when you have weather chaos get introduced during your rapid response, trying to make decisions, you've done it to yourself because you haven't stayed on top of the situation, you haven't had the right sensors, you haven't had the right data and the right decision support. And so what we want to do is help get folks thinking about this proactively with the right sensors, the right data, have that training that goes with that, the workflows that go with that, and anticipate, hey, if I'm going to lose my drone for 3 hours this afternoon, how am I going to respond to something? And what kind of backup are we going to put in place? And how are we going to notify everybody, hey, we're going to be on backup this afternoon, drones are not going to be operable, or there's a threat, they're not going to be operable. To me, that's orchestration.
Or conversely, you know, the point of, you know, the ASOS is at the airport and it's giving off a weather, you know, prediction that and model that doesn't apply where you are and you're a first responder. Conversely, you can fly here because this microclimate, this micro weather in this particular location is giving me a green light.
That's right.
So, you know, again, whether it's, okay, the fleet's not going to fly right now because we see this problem, or conversely, hey, you know what? We do have a window. Let's go. Let's go now.
And like I said up there, you know, the key is filling the weather gaps with these sensors that we can integrate, plug and play into our APIs and into our dashboard. And they don't have to be that expensive. They can give you ceiling height, visibility, winds at 200 feet at your location. The FAA right now, we've worked on a new weather standard that's been published, and they're, you know, we're working on with them to get a waiver process in place for public safety to use our capabilities while they're building their advisory circuit. You'll have approved weather, number one. Number two is you're going to have the best micro weather available, and you're going to increase your operational readiness, your ability to respond quickly, without delay, in trying to figure out what's going on, and you'll have mission success when you should have mission success. And so the bottom line is, you know, we know you're going to fly if there's lives at risk. I get that, right? I just have to worry about that. It doesn't mean, though, that you're going to fly crazy, because if you lose your drone, you've lost your ability to respond. Not to mention, you might hurt somebody else. So, you know, I recognize that the risks are different, but you can't be reckless either, right? So the whole idea is let's find that sweet spot and get you flying more. Just get your drones positioned in your municipality so that prevailing winds that generally flow through there, you have wind at your back in most of your area, so you can get there faster. And then, you know, you worry about the headwind coming back and your battery power and being able to loiter over site.
That tailwind comment about like getting there faster, I thought that was an excellent comment too. By the way, you will find these comments and more in an article I'll be writing about this panel, and so stay tuned for that. And Don, you guys are everywhere. You know, by the way, everybody, check out my reel. Where I'm going to have some pictures of some of these sensors Don is talking about, as well as some things from around this conference. So I'll be putting that out on LinkedIn as well, probably over the weekend. You'll get a much better idea, feel for some of this stuff that's here. But Don, how can people reach you?
Well, you can reach me at don.berchoff, BERCHOFF, at True Weather, no E in True, trueweathersolutions.com. But you know, we got our website, and you know, Dawn, I'm just going to say that this is, you know, I feel like we're home here, right? This is mission critical stuff. You know, this brings me back to my Air Force days.
It does.
It makes me feel at home. You know, we know what we're doing. We all know what we're doing in this room. We all know what the mission is, and you're doing a great job of covering this. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, thank you.
You know?
I was just joking, planes, trains, automobiles, and add tram. So it's just like, oh, and fun fact, you know, big blizzard in Denver, you know, later in the week. So when this thing will air. And
Who did you get that weather data
Hopefully,
from?
I don't know, man. Hopefully, oh, that's true. I should ask you about
Well,
that. Hopefully, I'll be able to get home.
I'm insulted now.
There you go. All right, everybody. I guess I got it from United. So, yeah, I know. I'm sure that's accurate. All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Thank you so much, Don. Great to see you again.
Yep.
That's all she wrote, everybody. We are out here. Again, follow Drone Responders. Thank you to Axon for sponsoring this particular stream. And
Thanks, Axon.
Next time.
And Charles is Charles Warner, man. What a patriot, right?
Yeah, yep. He's awesome. He's awesome. All right, we're out here. See ya. Bye.